Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out Gala's price chart. And unfortunately the bearish scenario that we talked about in the previous video happened, because I was saying hopefully this is going to be a 1-2, and what you want to see is a continuation of the move up into wave 3, but this is kind of predictable. What really matters is the next move. If we see a correction for another move up into wave 5, that can be a great sign. However, what did we get in here? First things first, this move up wasn't really even as strong as I expected, and also in here we got, unfortunately, an ABC zigzag, which got confirmed the moment that in this move down in Gala, we took this important low. So right in here, you actually could have been very bearish and say our move down is going to continue. Question: when can we say our move down has ended? Well, you probably know what I'm about to say. The moment that we identify off of the recent lowest low, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, we can be bullish with a lot of confidence. So as long as I'm not seeing a rather strong move on the upside, hopefully even from the current point, okay, I'm not really going to be 100% bullish at all. But can we say our move down is going to continue before we get that 5 wave on the upside? I'm thinking yes, and here is how. Let's zoom in more. Okay, so I believe there's a good chance we are having probably to about this point 5 wave down into wave 1, followed by probably an ABC running flat into wave 2, a strong move down into wave 3, and sure, maybe we are going to see like a 7-8% move on the upside, but I think that might be just a correction into wave 4, and what's going to happen next? Probably another move down into wave 5, and this on a higher degree might be into wave 3. And then what are we going to have? Once more, unfortunately, correction for another move on the downside into wave 5. And maybe at that point, we are going to be able to say, you know what, we have completed subwaves for, from this point, an A, B, C zigzag, and our move down is over. But you are not going to see me right in here calling our final low in Gala. No, like we said at the beginning of the video, we need to be in this area, very much patient, and wait for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to especially take this important high about the 2 cents area. Why? Because if we do this at that point, finding an impulsive structure down in this whole move starting from the highest side about 2.4 cents is going to be very challenging. And again, that means the bullish case should be our primary scenario, suggesting our uptrend in Gala is going to continue. Now, here is my final point. In my opinion, in the short term, any kind of move down that we are having should be considered as just overall a correction and not an impulse. And I think we are actually on the right track to have a correction structure. Why? Because compared to this move on the upside, the current move seems to be quite slow and choppy. Let's just measure it timing wise real quick. How long is it taking for us to have this move? About, as you can see, 850 candlesticks. On the other hand, this move up only happened in about 350 candlesticks. So from my point of view, this suggests that despite having more than enough time, bears are kind of failing to pull the price all the way back down to these levels, indicating bulls do still have the upper hand, and hopefully we are going to continue the uptrend, which has started from the lowest low all the way down here about 1.1 cents. What if we do get maybe like a strong move on the downside in order to take all the lows? That's actually going to be the buy opportunity of a lifetime in Gala, because we talked about this subject before. The risk to reward ratios in here are absolutely insane. Let's say you want to buy Gala, assuming that we are going to take the lows in here about 1.1 cents. Well, okay, in that case, let's argue your average purchase is going to be somewhere around the 1.2 cents area. Question: what's going to be your stop loss? If you want to really be pessimistic, you can put your stop maybe under like half a cent area. So essentially you are having a half a cent stop loss. On the other hand, what's your target? Again, let's say you want to be pessimistic and you don't really want to wait for an alt season. You just want to wait for a bounce back, and in that scenario, a likely target can be somewhere around these regions between, let's say, 5 to 6, 7 cents. So you are having a half a cent stop loss, but on the other hand, a 4 to 5 cents target, meaning your risk to reward ratio is about 1 to 8, 1 to 10, which again is absolutely fantastic. So If we do go down in Gala in a major way, it will be a buy opportunity. Are we going to do that? I'm not really counting on it. And based on what I'm seeing, I'm hoping that we are having a correction in here and our move down is going to come to an end soon. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Gala's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.